Hi there, we're back, and we're finally going to talk about typography. On our last class we built this background, and we're going to start typography now with type tool and area type tool. Even if you made the background in our last class, open our file live-instagram part 2 so that we know that we're on the same page. This is the typography tool. You get the type tool, area type tool, type on a path tool, vertical type tool, vertical area type tool, vertical type on a path tool, and touch type tool. We're going to work first with type tool and area type tool. So type tool, the shortcut is letter T, and this is the symbol you get when you select the tool. All you have to do with type tool is click once on the screen. If you click and hold, by default, you will get another tool. So if I click once, I will get a type tool. If I click and hold, automatically, Illustrator understands that I'm using the area type tool. So it's different. In this case, I have used the type tool, and in this case, I have used the area type tool, although I have selected the type tool. So be careful. Another thing I want to tell you, when you use the selection tool on a type tool or on an area type tool, you will get a little circle here using the selection tool. As you can see, the type tool is a white circle, and in the area type tool is a filled circle. If you click twice on this circle, you will transform this type tool into an area type tool. If I click twice, it became an area type tool. And if I click on my area type tool and click twice here, it transforms this into a type tool. Alright, David, but what's the difference? Let me put back. Let's make this one a area type tool by clicking twice, and this is darker. And I'm going to click here and click twice to become again a type tool. To show you the difference. Type tools, when you change the anchors, it increases the sizes. It changes the size of the text. Area type tool is not like that. If you change the size of the area, it will not change the size of the text. David, what is this lorem ipsum? Don't worry. Lorem ipsum is just some Latin words that Illustrator generates automatically. It's just a placeholder text. So it helps you to know where the text is going to go. You can also change the lorem ipsum by going to Edit, Preference. If you're on a Mac, remember it's Illustrator and Preference, and go to Type. This is the advanced option of the type tools. When you choose this option, you can change the configuration, and here you can remove the lorem ipsum by just unmarking this option. Fill new typed objects with placeholder text. This is the lorem ipsum. So if I unmark this option, I won't get any more lorem ipsum. It's really up to you on how you want to use it, but for the course, please do keep this marked. Okay? So, you've learned how to create the type tool and the area type tool. Let me delete these just to show you some more things. But let's say you don't want a square. You want your text area to be in a circle. All you have to do is create the circle. So you can click and hold, use the ellipse tool, and when you click on the type tool, all you have to do is click over the path. When you click once, you will get the text here. David, that doesn't look really good. That's because the text is really big. If I reduce the size for, let's say, 20, and If I use the lorem ipsum again, so I'm just going to delete this and create a new circle, use the type tool over the path, and there you go. You can get some text inside a circle. That goes for a triangle, a polygon, or even a path if you want. What it doesn't do is create inside a compound path. So if it's inside a complex compound path, it won't work. But don't worry, because I will teach you as well how to use a workaround to put a text in a complex compound shape. Anyway, let's just go. So our goal here is to build this text. You already know how to create type text, and you know how to create an area type text, okay? So let's start with this text here, Instagram Live. All I want to do is put a text here, so I'll select the type tool and click once. When you click once, it will bring the size that you used last. Do you remember that I changed the size when I put the text inside a circle? So let's change the size to, let's say, 100. It will get bigger. Now let's change the text and let's put Instagram Live. Cool. And let's put the right color. So let's select all the text and select the color white. Okay, selection tool, click outside, selection tool. There's an M missing here, the V, it's missing, and selection tool, and I can move now the Instagram somewhere where I want. As you can see, this word here is using a paragraph of center, aligned center. If it was aligned left, this point here indicates that this text is aligned left. Now, what is my goal here? Do I want to align this text in the left side of this box, or do I want to align it in the right, or do I want to align it in the center? If you align in the center, okay, it means that the center of the Instagram Live has like an anchor. And when you start moving the type tool, smart guides will help you to place exactly where you want. As you can see, it's using this anchor to position the word somewhere around in the artboard. And the smart guide is always trying to help me. So please keep the smart guides activated. So we have the text, but we don't have the fonts. So the question is, how do we get better fonts? When you install Illustrator, you will get some fonts by default. But you can also download more fonts from Adobe. All you have to do in the new version of Illustrator is click here in the font type and start looking for fonts. These fonts are the ones that is installed in my computer. When you start looking for fonts, you can use the filters to search for serif, with serifs, slab serifs, calligraphic, a black letter, gothic, monospace, handwritten, decorative. Anyway, there's lots of properties that you can use to find the fonts. For example, I think this one is the one I was using, so it's like italic. So if I want, I can just choose a classification for it, like this one, and start looking for the fonts, and click outside and start looking for the fonts that I already had downloaded, which are italic. But there's much more. I can click here on Find More, and automatically I'm going to filter this information in the Adobe fonts. You'd have to have internet to do that, and sometimes it takes a little while to get the files in Adobe fonts. Like now, for example. I'm going to clear the filter, and for some reason it's not initializing, and there you go. Anyway, I don't know why it takes so long. But when you're accessing Adobe Fonts, you get loads of fonts to search for. And all you have to do is click here to activate the font and download it to your computer. When you're searching, you can also click here and configure a filter so that you can find the fonts that you want. So let's say I want a serif font, a with serif font. Serif fonts are fonts with a little feet underneath. So if I click here, I will get a little feet under the fonts, like this one. I don't know if you can see it. Oops, click again, and let's search again. Click in Find More. And the filter, when you access again the filter, it always keeps the last filter that you used. So do remember to clear all the filter before trying to search for a new font. What I want is a font that I already downloaded, so I can go to Fonts, and I think it's this one, the Brush Script Empty Italic. Now you click once, and there you go, you have a really cool font. When you open a file that it doesn't have that specific font, it will try to download it for you from Adobe Fonts. And now let's do the rest. Let's say I want to write this text here. All I have to do again is click once, and write grab your followers' attention. And click on the selection tool. And there you go. So this one is another text type, just like Instagram Live. So if I click here, it will increase and decrease. Ctrl Z. When you're using text type, just remember one thing, don't click over an object. So let's say, for example, I have a circle here, and I want to write a type. If I accidentally click over an object, it will be creating an area type tool and not a type tool. Okay, so let's delete these, and let's select a text for this part here. I don't want an italic text, so let's click here on the characters and click in Find More, and let's choose a filter without serif, for example, and let's choose this one, a different one. If I don't have it yet, I just have to click Activate Abolition. Okay, just click once and click OK. And it will start downloading for you Abolition. Look, it's activating. Now I can find this font in my own fonts in my computer. I can also mark it as a favorite. If you mark it as a favorite, it will come here in the filter. And there you go. When you have this font in your computer, all you have to do is click once. And there you go. I have the font's Abolition here. I didn't really like it. I just wanted to show you that it's possible to download fonts. Let's choose white and reduce the size. Let's say 50. As you can see, the Abolition font doesn't have lower caps, okay? It's just some fonts, they don't have it. Again, when you go back to search for something, it's really good for you to clear everything, because sometimes the filters, it just gets on your way to finding a specific fonts, okay? So now that we have made this, let's make this text here on the below. So let's look here to this part of the text now. Let's zoom in. As you can see, the texts are separated here. So there's a part of the text that's here, a part that it's here. What can I do? I could write several type text, or I could do also an area type tool. Let's go back to the artboard. So, like I said, I could write a type tool and just click once here and click once here, and I don't know, once here as well. and position the words like this with the left. Okay. As you can see, the text is following the circle. Or even better, I could write a text that is inside an area, and the area can be just outside of this circle. And I'm going to show you how to do that, but on the next class, okay? So on the next class, I'm going to show you how to do a area type tool which is not in a rectangle, okay? So I'll see you on the next class.